There's a new assistant in your life. It reads your emails, it listens in on your meetings, it knows your entire schedule. It's designed to help you, but what if its memory is a little too good? What happens when your perfect assistant can't keep a secret? Welcome to my channel, GP Podcast. Hello and welcome. In this explainer, we are diving headfirst into the strange paradox of AI productivity tools. On one hand, they promise to give us back our most precious resource, time. But on the other, what are they taking in return? So let me just ask you this. What would you do with an extra 10 hours every week? Seriously, think about it. That's not some far-off fantasy. That is the very real promise of AI. And it's changing, well, pretty much everything about how we work. Let's just look at the numbers for a second, because they're kind of staggering. A study from McKinsey found that AI tools can boost productivity for knowledge workers, people like you and me, by an incredible 40%. That's almost half of all that boring, repetitive stuff just gone. And if you're a developer, it gets even wilder. Microsoft and GitHub found that developers who use AI are writing code 55% faster. I mean, just imagine the kind of innovation that speed unlocks. It's a total game changer. The impact on just plain old administrative tasks, it's huge. A report from PwC shows that companies can cut the time they spend on that stuff by up to 70%. You know, this isn't just about saving a few minutes here and there. This is about freeing up people to work on things that actually matter. Okay, so the promise is massive. We get it. But what does this look like in the real world? How does it actually work? Let's walk through a tangible example. So picture this. You've got a folder, and it's crammed with hundreds of PDF financial reports. Your job is to go through every single one, find the name of the institution, find its interest income, and then copy and paste that into an Excel sheet. It's tedious, it's boring, and you're bound to make mistakes. But with a tool like Power Automate Desktop, which, by the way, is free with Windows, that entire soul-crushing process can be automated. And when you look at how it works, it's surprisingly simple. It sounds way more complicated than it is. You just tell the tool 4 basic things. 1, here's the folder with all the files. 2, read everything in them. 3, look for these exact words, like institution name, and grab whatever comes after it. And 4, put that information right here in this Excel column. That's it. A task that could have taken you a whole day is now done in minutes. This is the power we've been promised. But this is where the perfect, shiny story starts to get a little messy. The market is absolutely flooded with tools that promise this kind of magic, and the reality for users is, well, it's complicated. Let's see what people are actually saying. Let's take those AI meeting assistants, like Otter.ai and Fireflies.ai. If you look at user discussions, people are constantly debating which one is better. But the truth is, as one person put it, it's a really overcrowded space. There's no clear winner because so many of them do the exact same thing. It's creating more confusion than clarity. And the problems go way deeper than just a crowded market. Here's a quote from a Reddit user that, honestly, it stopped me in my tracks. They said their AI assistant wasn't just summarizing their meetings, it was making stuff up. Just complete fabrication. So these tools aren't just getting things wrong sometimes, they're actively inventing fiction. And this example just perfectly illustrates the danger. The same user asked the AI to write a simple follow-up email after an interview. The AI's response? It made up a completely bizarre story about sending the job candidate's details to some random person at a company nobody had ever heard of. The AI literally admitted it was a lie and apologized. This isn't just a simple bug, this is a massive breach of trust, and it could have some really serious consequences. So all of this brings us to a much, much bigger and more hidden risk. You see, to be helpful, these AI assistants need access to everything: our emails, our private chats, our documents. But what exactly are they seeing? And maybe more importantly, what are they remembering? It looks friendly, right? It looks helpful. It's designed to be completely harmless. But in order to give you those perfectly personalized answers, it has to read everything. And the very architecture that lets it do that has a fundamental, almost invisible flaw. All right, the technology behind this is called Retrieval Augmented Generation, or RAG for short. Stick with me because this part is key. It's basically a 2-step process. First, you have the retriever. Think of it like a search engine for your entire life. When you ask a question, it zips through all your files to find anything that seems relevant. Then you have the generator, which takes all that stuff the retriever found and uses it to write you an answer. The problem is right there, in that very first step. The retriever is, well, it's an overzealous assistant. It has no concept of privacy or context. It just looks for keywords. So if you ask it to draft an email about your future goals, it might also pull up that private chat where you told your friend you were secretly planning to quit your job. To the retriever, it's all just data. It's all equally retrievable. So the system is designed to find your most relevant information. But what happens when your most relevant information is also your most private secret? A groundbreaking study called Privacy Bench decided to put this to the test, and what they found is pretty shocking. In their baseline tests, the retriever component, that overzealous assistant, grabbed documents containing private secrets nearly 63% of the time. Let that sink in for a second. More than half the time, the system is pulling your secrets off the shelf, just holding them, ready to be used. And the critical thing to understand is the difference between these two numbers here. The leakage rate, that's when the AI actually blurts out the secret, is about 16%, which is bad enough, right? But look at the inappropriate retrieval rate. That's how often the system simply accesses the secret, even if it doesn't say it out loud. That number is a whopping 63%. The retriever is constantly putting your secrets on the table. This creates what the researchers perfectly call an illusion of safety. You think your secret is safe because, hey, the AI's final answer didn't mention it, but behind the scenes, the system has already retrieved it. The only thing standing between your private data and the outside world is the generator, and that is a single, fragile point of failure. All it takes is one slightly different question, one little push, and that secret is out. So we've come full circle. We started with this incredible, tantalizing promise of saving 10 hours a week, of automating all the boring parts of our jobs. But now we've uncovered this hidden, invisible cost. And this really is the question we're all left with. We want the power, we want the convenience, we want the productivity. But are we willing to accept the risk that comes with it? The risk that every private chat, every sensitive document, every fleeting thought is being indexed, made searchable, and is always just one query away from being exposed to the world. If you liked this explainer, please subscribe for more. And hey, leave a like and a comment. I'd love to know what you found most interesting. Be sure to share this too, to help other people understand the tools they're using every single day. Thanks for joining me.